It's so funny you say that though, because like that's something that I have particularly been. That's something I've actually been writing about, not necessarily in like a not necessarily in like a nonfiction way, but that's one of the
Hmm.
themes, kind of in my series, Shadows of Deception. That like a lot of this division and whatnot, it almost seems to kind of be planned, so to speak, by both party elites. And like I've gotten a few people who have been like, well, Sam, like, I'm not one of these people that like tries to predict stuff to write in my books. Like, I'm not
Hmm.
trying to do the whole Brad Thor things, but I mean, I've been in political commentary for a long time. I've read, I've talked to people in the intelligence community. Granted, most of them are retired, but even so, like I don't think a lot of this stuff is super hard to like see if you observe things. And so I think Obama getting rid of like the Smith-Mundt Act in particular was pretty harmful. And it's like I've said, I don't really care if someone's like an evangelical, or if they're like or if they, believe in the whole LGBTQ thing. Like, I personally don't like either extreme, but you're welcome to have your opinion. My whole thing is when it gets to the point where we can't even have a civil conversation,
Hmm.
that's when I start to worry. And we've kind of seen, unfortunately, um, the worst kind of, the worst possible result of that.
One of the
And
things in the first edition of Our War that was released in 2020, that was something I talked about in the beginning of the book that I actually did remove in the second edition, was we need to have a civil conversation. You
yeah,
need to get along. You need to talk to your neighbor. If you can't honestly talk politics with somebody, talk about football, talk about the weather, talk
yeah,
to your neighbor. You can be friends without agreeing on political ideology, which I also believe has replaced religion.
yeah.
I believe that the Republican and the Democrat Party personally have become a rel- divisions of religion for people.
Oh yeah, totally.
So,
And I mean, granted, I'll be honest. I mean, I've fallen into the tribalism, trap as much as any other person in the past. Which is kind of one of the reasons why I shifted over to writing fiction, over
mm,
like the past 5 years. Was like for my part, like I've recognized that, that like yeah, not everything the conservatives do is great either. And I mean, it does kind of worry me, some of the radical elements that are taking place, that are trying to take Charlie's place. And I think I've done a pretty good job of trying to call out both sides. But it's
mm,
you know kind of, I guess, the unfortunate thing is, I think the Shadows of Deception, which is this title of my series, they really are trying to play us off against each other. And
oh,
I don't think
absolutely.